Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du.
The Honorable the Chairman of Al-Muhajirien Waqaf Foundation, Mr. Haji Muhammad Safiuddin become ST. The Honorable President of IGN, Mr. Muhammad Fahrizal. The Honorable Principals and Vice Principals of Al-Azhar in Jakapermai, Kemang Pratama, and Grand Wisata.
The Honorable all the teachers and students from Yijia Junior High School. The Honorable all the teachers, IGN mentors, and our beloved participant of Mini Model United Nations. May peace and blessings be upon us all. Welcome to today's special event called MMUN, Mini Model United Nations.
Let us take a moment to express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for granting us the opportunity to gather here in good health and spirit.
Let us send our salawat and salam to our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has set the example in striving for goodness and competing in doing good deeds in this world. Everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Omar.
And my name is Ara, who will be the host for today's event. To begin this event, let's recite Basmalah together.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Next, let us listen to the recitation of the Holy Quran, which will be delivered by Lafina. To Lafina, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yas'alunaka 'anil anfal. Qulil anfalu lillahi war rasul. Fattaqullaha wa aslihu zata bainikum wa atiullaha wa rasulah wa atiullaha wa rasulahu in kuntum mu'minin. Innamal mu'minuna allazina iza zukirallahu wajilat qulubuhum wa iza tuliyat alaihim ayatuh wa iza tuliyat alaihim ayatuhu zat إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون الذين يقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون أولئك هم المؤمنون حقا لهم درجات عند ربهم ومغفرة ورزق كريم كما أخرجك ربك من بيتك بالحق وإن فريقا من المؤمنين لكارهون وإن فريقا من المؤمنين لكارهون صدق الله العلي العظيم Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the beautiful recitation. May it bring blessings and guidance into our lives.
Next, we will sing together the national anthem of Indonesia Raya, Mars Al-Azhar, and Mars Yayasan Wakaf Al-Muhajirien. That will be led by Duya Hesra. We kindly ask everyone to stand up.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
Now, we would like to invite the President of IGN, Mr. Muhammad Fahrizal, to deliver his speech. Please give him a warm welcome.
Tes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My sincere respected chairman of the Al-Muhajirien Wakaf Foundation, Mr. Haji Muhammad Syaifuddin, and my sincere respect to the principal of Al-Azhar Islamic Junior High School, Mr. Aminuddin, and Vice Principal of the Al-Azhar Islamic Junior High School, Mr. Andi Krisdianto, and Principal of Yijia Junior High School, Mr. Jack. And of course to respected teacher and staff Al-Azhar 9 Islamic Junior High School, parents, and proud students of Al-Azhar and Yijia schools. Good afternoon. So I want to hear, because I look around that you are look like nervous. Maybe some of you guys, this is the first time you end, but I want to hear the spirit. I want to hear the voice of Muhajirien Model United Nations. Can I hear your voice? Once again, Muhajirien Model United Nation. Let me hear your voice. Okay, so it's so good to see so many bright faces here today. I'm Muhammad Farizal. I'm the president of the International Global Network. And I want to start with this. Congratulations. Just by being here, stepping into this simulation, debating, collaborating, you have already done something most people never dare to do. You stepped out of your comfort zone. That is the first sign of leadership. Here's something most schools don't say enough, that when you apply to the top university or a dream career in the future, they will look at how well you communicate. They won't just look at your grades, how you solve the problems, how you think, how you work with others. They are part of the life skills. And right now, they are some of the most valuable abilities in the world. So I show you the data from the World Economic Forum, from Harvard Business Review, for Stanford, from Dale Carnegie Institution. They said that 8 of the 10 most important skills for the future are soft skills or life skills. It will be relatable with critical thinking, leadership, emotional intelligence, adaptability. And here, the best part, you are already practicing them here. And right now, by speaking, negotiating, listening, and finding solution together, you are building skill that will take you anywhere you want to go. I have seen this happen again and again. Students from all around the world, from Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, China, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, France. They joined even like this one, and later they were accepted to some of the world top universities. You can name it: Cambridge, Manchester, Columbia, and many more. So, never underestimate this moment. It could be the beginning of something much bigger for you. Whether it's your first time, your second time, maybe your fifth time, speak boldly, listen kindly, grow confidently. You are not just pretending to be a leader of the world, you are already becoming them. On behalf of the International Global Network, good luck, enjoy your process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fahrizal, for your inspiring words.
Next, we are honored to invite the chairman of Yayasan Wakaf Al-Muhajirien to deliver his remarks. Please welcome Mr. Haji Muhammad Safiuddin, BCom, ST.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu ala rasulillah, Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin ibni Abdillah, wa ala alihi wa mawalah. Rabbi shrahli sadri, wa yassirli amri, wa halul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. Puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala, Tuhan yang Maha Esa, for His grace and mercy we can gather today in the mini model United Nations. Salawat dan greeting and always bestow upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and me. We all receive his intercession in the day of the judgment. Today, I want to speak two languages because I'm the chairman of Yayasan Wakaf Al-Muhajirien. Because Yayasan is institution, so I have to speak Indonesian too. My sincere respect to Chief Executive Officer of International Global Network, Mr. Muhammad Fahrizal. My sincere respect to Principal all Kampus Al-Muhajirien, Jaka Permai dan Keren Wisata. My sincere respect of the Principal of Ijia Junior High School, Mr. Jack, and the respect teacher and staff all Kampus Al-Muhajirien, Yayasan Kampus Al-Muhajirien, Kemang Pratama, and Keren Wisata. Dear parent, and of course my beloved proud student of Al-Azhar Islamic School, Al-Azhar 9, not 9 ya, Al-Azhar Islamic Junior High School, and student of Ijia Junior High School. Selamat siang dan berbahagia selalu. Bapak ingin menyampaikan kalian semua dalam kegiatan hari ini, kehadiran kalian pada hari ini juga mencerminkan bahwa kalian adalah generasi muda yang mempunyai semangat dan siap bersaing di tingkat global. Jadi Pak Fakhri menyampaikan ini bukan nervous tapi mempersiapkan diri. Good afternoon, talented and dedicated student. It's pleasure to meet you all today. Your presence show you are a spirited young generation ready for global competition. Anak-anakku, kita perlu ketahui bahwa perkembangan teknologi yang sangat cepat, globalisasi yang semakin intensif, dan tantangan lingkungan yang mendesak untuk kita dituntut sebagai individu dengan keterampilan yang berbeda dengan generasi yang sebelumnya. Keterampilan inilah yang menjadi kemampuan dasar dan kunci kesuksesan bagi para siswa dalam menghadapi tantangan di masa kini maupun di masa depan. Tidak cukup hanya mengandalkan pengetahuan akademik, para siswa dan anak-anakku semuanya perlu memiliki kemampuan komunikasi yang baik, efektif, kreativitas, kolaborasi, efektif dan inovasi, pemikiran kritis, keterampilan beradaptasi, keterampilan digital yang berkembang di dalam dunia yang akan datang. Kemampuan kita untuk berkolaborasi ini penting, dan saat inilah hari ini kita mulai salah satu kegiatan kolaborasi yang sangat penting yang akan kalian rasakan setelah keluar dari sekolah ini. My dear student, the rapid pace of technology, increasing globalization and urgent environmental challenge mean we need different skill than previous generation. The skill are key to your success now and the future. Beyond academic knowledge, you need strong communication, creativity, collaboration, innovation, critical thinking and adaptability, and digital skill to thrive in our ever-changing world. Pendidikan modern harus mampu menggali, mengembangkan potensi, kreativitas, dan inovasi, sehingga para siswa dapat beradaptasi, menciptakan solusi yang baru, menghadapi tantangan global dengan percaya diri dan mampu berkontribusi secara positif dalam masyarakat yang global. To thrive in today's world, education must foster creativity and innovation. This empowers students to adapt, invent new solutions, tackle global challenges confidently, and make meaningful contribution to society. Ada beberapa hal yang ingin Bapak sampaikan. Kita harus memiliki fundamental ini. These fundamental ability are essential for several key reasons. Adaptasi terhadap perubahan dunia terus berubah dengan kecepatan yang belum pernah terjadi sebelumnya. Seperti halnya di kehidupan kalian baik di lingkungan sekolah, keluarga ataupun masyarakat yang setiap harinya kalian untuk mampu beradaptasi dengan cepat, belajar hal-hal baru dengan cepat dan menyesuaikan diri dengan lingkungan yang berbeda. Adaptation to change the world, change the fast. Like your daily life at school, with family and or in society, nothing to stay the same. You must adapt quickly, learn new things fast, and get used to different place. Tantangan global seperti perubahan iklim, kemiskinan, dan ketidaksetaraan memerlukan solusi dan inovasi yang kompleks. Sehingga kemampuan untuk berpikir kritis, analitis, kreatif harus wajib kalian dapatkan dan punya kontributif yang positif dalam memecahkan masalah yang akan kalian hadapi. Global challenge, big problem like climate change, poverty, and unfairness need new and tricky answer. You need to think well, analyze things, and be creative to help solve this problem. Kolaborasi efektif di era globalisasi, kolaborasi lintas budaya dan disiplin ilmu menjadi semakin penting. Kemampuan komunikasi yang efektif, kerja tim, Dan empati memungkinkan kalian untuk bisa bekerja sama dengan orang lain untuk mencapai tujuan bersama. Effective collaboration in the era globalization, cross culture and interdisciplinary collaboration is becoming increasingly important. Effective communication skill, teamwork, and empathy enable you to work with others to achieve common goal. Innovation, creativity are key for you to grow, develop, and live your life better. Imagine if we didn't have the ability to innovate, to creative, perhaps we wouldn't be experiencing the gadget technology we use today. It can also be ascertained that if we do not have this ability, then throughout our life we will only be follower. Therefore, what I expect from you is that you must be able to think creatively, imaginatively, and be brave in taking risks, so that you can produce new idea and innovation solution. Kemampuan dasar ini tentu yang harus dimiliki anak-anak kita. Yayasan Wakaf Al-Muhajirin memberikan program-program untuk anak-anakku semuanya dalam mengembangkan, meningkatkan kemampuan, keterampilan untuk bertahan dan siap menghadapi tantangan global. Kita sudah merancang dan sudah melakukan yang kita namakan program Agile, Al-Muhajirin Global Initiative Leadership Excellence, yang kami disupport oleh anak muda dan satu company yang cukup besar, IGN, International Global Network. Pak Fahri, berikan aplaus buat Pak Fahri. Agile adalah suatu kerangka untuk menjadikan anak-anak kita mampu berkomunikasi, mampu berdiskusi, mampu berkolaborasi, dan mampu memahami masalah-masalah yang ada di global. Dan insya Allah hari ini kita akan mulai. My dear student attending today event, you should be amazingly proud to have been selected for the MUN, Mini Model United Nations activity. This event represents a direct and powerful practical application of the Agile. You have diligently engaged in your respective school over the past few weeks. Saya berharap kegiatan ini dapat memberikan pengalaman yang berharga bagi kalian dalam mengembangkan dan meningkatkan kemampuan kalian dalam berbicara, bernegosiasi, berbagi ide, dan bekerja sama dengan tim. Terima kasih kepada semua pihak yang terlibat dalam kegiatan ini. Untuk para siswa, selamat berdiskusi, bernegosiasi, dan belajar. My sincere thanks to all parties involved in making this important event a reality to the student. I wish you productive discussion, successful negotiation, and a rewarding learning experience. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Safiuddin, for the encouraging and meaningful speech.
To end our opening program, let us join in prayer, which will be led by Albani. We kindly ask everyone to contemplate this moment sincerely.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. We thank you, O Allah, for gathering us here in good health, peace, and unity. We are grateful for the countless blessings you have given us, especially the blessing of knowledge, guidance, and the opportunity to learn and grow. Oh Allah, we ask you to bless this event, bless our time together, and make it full of benefit, wisdom, and positive outcomes. Grant success to our teachers, parents, and all those who guide us. Increase us in useful knowledge, good character, and strong faith. Make us among those who are humble in learning and sincere in seeking the truth. Oh Allah, strengthen the bond among us with love, respect, and cooperation. Protect our school, our community, and our nation from all the bad things. Guide our hearts to always remember you, to speak the truth, to maintain integrity, and to bring goodness wherever we go. Oh Allah, forgive our faults and accept our efforts. Make the knowledge we gain today a light for our future, and a way for us to bring benefit to others and make a positive impact on the world around us. Send your peace and blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and all those who follow his path. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin. Thank you. May today's event bring us many blessings.
Finally, this is the moment we've all been waiting for the most. The main event of Mini Model United Nations that will be led by IGN mentors. Please give big round of applause.
All right, okay, there we go. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. Great spirit. So, I would like to start off by saying Honorable Chairman of the Foundations, Honorable President, and Principal School, and also fellow delegates, organizing committee, as well as principals and also vice principals. My name is Fatur Rahman Rashid. I'll be acting as the head chair of today's event, which is Al-Muhajirien Model United Nations 2025. Going forward, I'll be serving with my co-chair Rifa, and we'll be here moderating as well as guiding each and every one of you throughout the Model United Nations. Now, going forward, I would like to each and every one of you to essentially do your best. I know today is a bit confusing, a little bit of stressful, and a little bit of tense. However, I would like to each and every one of you to give your best shot and give everything that you have prepared today. Give all your ins and outs to win the awards of the best delegations, most outstanding verbal combinations, honorable mentions, and also best position paper. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. We're going to be here moderating and guiding for you all. Chairman Rifa, have anything to say?
All right, welcome again to the delegates of Muhajirien Model United Nations. Consider this as a time to reflect upon your progress alongside with the coaching sessions that you already had, and mind yourself that if you have any questions, you can just raise your placard and ask us. Okay, now we'll be starting to do the roll call, so I'll be giving the floor back to head chair.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Chairwoman Rifa, would you like to start? So for the Al-Muhajirien Model United Nations 2025 starts now. So, we'll begin the roll call. Please, fellow delegates, when your country has been called by the chairs or the board of dais, please state whether you are present or present and voting. We'll start first by the delegations of Argentina. Present and voting. Thank you very much. So, delegations of Australia. Delegations of Australia. Present and voting. Thank you very much. We'll have the delegations of Brazil. Is present. Thank you very much. As shown on the screen. Please wait for a bit. All right, so delegations of Canada is present. Thank you very much. The next, the delegations of the People's Republic of China. Present and voting. Thank you very much. The delegations of Denmark. Present and voting. Thank you. Delegations of Egypt. Delegations of France. Present and voting. Thank you. We'll have to go to delegations of Germany. Present and voting. Thank you so much. We'll have delegations of India. Present and voting. Next, the delegations of Japan.
Present and voting.
Present and voting. Thank you. Malaysia.
The delegates of Malaysia are present and voting.
Present and voting. Duly noted. Mexico.
The delegations of Mexico are present and voting.
Present and voting. Duly noted delegate. We'll have Nigeria.
The delegates of Nigeria is present and voting.
Present and voting. Delegations of Norway.
The delegates of Norway are present.
Present. Thank you. We'll have the Philippines.
The delegates of Philippines are present.
Present. Thank you very much. Delegations of Saudi Arabia.
The delegation of Saudi Arabia is present and voting.
Present and voting. We'll have South Africa.
The delegation of South Africa is present and voting.
Present and voting. South Korea.
The delegates of South Korea is present and voting.
Present and voting. Sweden.
The delegates of Sweden is present and voting.
Present and voting. Next up, the delegations of Thailand.
The delegation of Thailand is present and voting.
Present and voting. We'll have the delegations of Ukraine. Present and voting. The delegations of the United Arab Emirates.
The delegates of the United Arab Emirates is present and voting.
Present and voting. We'll have the United Kingdom.
The delegates of the United Kingdom is present and voting.
Present and voting. Last but not least, we'll have the United States of America.
The delegates of United States of America are present and voting.
Thank you very much. Before we proceed to count all the delegates here, are there any delegations who hasn't been called upon by the chairs? Please raise your placards if you haven't been called upon by the chairs. Going once, twice, thrice. Seeing none, then we will have a total of, if you see here, we have 25 delegations present as of now, in which you will need about 13 votes in order to pass any motions. Moderated caucus, unmoderated caucus, consultations of the whole, any motions, you will need 13 votes for it to pass. Okay? Any questions before we move forward? Going once, twice, thrice. Seeing none, then before we go to the general speakers list, are there any points of motions to open the debate? Please raise your placards Now, delegations of Argentina.
The delegate of Argentina proposes a motion to open the debate.
The delegations of Argentina proposes to open the debate. Under the chair's discretion, this motion passes, and then we'll go to the general speakers list straight away. So, this is how the general speakers list is going to work. Since we do have 25 delegations here as of now, everyone will have a turn in the general speakers list. We'll have 1 minute for speaking time. All right, 1 minute speaking time. So for the entire general speakers list, we will have 25 minutes. So this is how it's going to be conducted. For every 5 delegates, we'll need to be queued up over here. It's going to be done alphabetically. All right. So if you see on the screen, we have Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Denmark, and so on and so forth. So please, for all the 5 countries to queue up at the front to prepare for the general speakers list. Any questions? If you have any questions, raise your placards. Going once, going twice, going thrice. Seeing none, then we'll move into the general speakers list effectively and immediately. So, the dais calls upon the delegations of Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, and China. Please queue up at the front. Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, and China to queue up at the front. Argentina? Who's Argentina? You go first, okay? Okay, so without further ado, Argentina, ready? The time is yours.
Honorable Chair and fellow delegates, Judy Heumann, an American rights activist, once said, "I was confused and heart-wrenchingly sad to the point of numbness. I just couldn't understand what I had to do to be seen as an ordinary person." According to the 2010 census, 13% of the total population in Argentina has some type of disability, which is equivalent to roughly 5 million people. And according to a more updated survey of 2017 to 2018, 3.5 million people aged 6 years and over have some kind of disability. And over time, the Argentinian state has transitioned from a biomedical approach to a rights-based approach to disability. Historically, public actions aimed at the person with disabilities were characterized as welfare-based, as part of the social and political responses, marginalized and vulnerable populations.
Very much. Thank you very much, Delegate. Your time has elapsed. Yes. So here we do have the timer on the right side. Each and every one of the delegates will have only 1 minute to conduct their speech. So we'll have the gavel. This is called the gavel, the hammer. So if we bang it once, that means 15 seconds left. If we bang it twice, this means 5 seconds left. All right? So please conclude your speech when the timer ends. Are there any questions? Seeing none, then we'll move forward. For the delegations of Australia, you may have the floor.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates. Australia is a country that prioritizes equal education for all students because in Australia have an understanding that education is crucial for individual and societal well. Australia has done so much to help increasing and developing inclusive education. So it ensures that everyone can learn in the same level. The Section 36 of the Human Rights Act 2019 says that every child have the right to have access on education. Because of that, Australia has done some. Therefore, we make an open space for any delegates that want to discuss and work with us.
All right, thank you very much, delegations of Australia. Your time has concluded. Next up, we'll have the delegations of Brazil as our next speaker. The time is yours, delegate.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates. Brazil has shifted its inclusive education approach from a medical model to a social model, aiming to integrate and provide special education within the regular school system for students with disabilities, ensuring inclusion across all levels and modalities of education. We recognize that inclusive education strengthens both individual and social. Brazil has implemented legal protection, national action plan, and specialized programs such as manufacturer resource rooms and accessible textbook initiative to ensure that students with disabilities can thrive in public education. However, we must be honest, gaps remain. Listed alone is not enough. We need implementation, investment, and international cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Brazil. With that, your time has concluded. Next up, we'll have the delegations of Canada. The time is yours, delegate.
Good afternoon, the Honorable Chairman and my fellow delegates. We, as the representative of Canada, are going to discuss the issue of inclusive education. Inclusive education means children with disabilities learn in the same class as the children without any disabilities. In Canada, a significant challenge has been identified. Many teachers lack sufficient training and experience in working with students with disabilities. This can impact their attitudes toward inclusion and affect the support students receive. Every student deserves equal opportunities to succeed, regardless of their abilities. To address this challenge, Canada is committed to improving teacher training and promoting inclusive practices. By working together, nations can create learning environments that support the diverse needs of all students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Canada. Next up, we'll have the delegations of the People's Republic of China.
The delegates of China would like to thank the chair for the recognition. My fellow delegates and peers, I want to talk about something important, which is inclusive education for disabled students in China. Imagine being denied an education, not because you hate learning, it's because you're disabled or you can't hear or speak. And a lot of students in China with disabilities, this is everyday life for them. Inclusive education means giving every single student, no matter the physical or learning challenges, a fair and equal chance to learn. It's not about putting everyone in the same classroom. It's about providing the right support, making accessible spaces, and building schools environments so everyone feels they belong. In China, we made great progress in inclusive education. But sadly, many students with disabilities are still facing barriers. Other schools have lack of research or training.
All right, thank you very much to the delegations of People's Republic of China. Moving forward, we'll call upon the delegations of Denmark, Egypt, France, Germany, and also India to queue up at the front. Denmark, Egypt, France, and Germany, and India. Please queue up to the front. Thank you very much. Delegations of Denmark, 60 seconds are yours.
Good afternoon, delegates and Honorable Chair. Today, I stand for inclusive education and equality for students with disabilities in Denmark. While Denmark is often praised for its progressive policies, many students with disabilities still face barriers, from inaccessible schools to limited tailored support. Education is a right, not a privilege. True inclusion means more than placing students in the same classroom. It means giving them the tools and support they need to thrive. We must ensure that every school has trained staff, accessible resources, and inclusive teaching methods. Because when we invest in inclusive education, we build a society where everyone belongs and everyone succeeds. Let's make Denmark not just a leader in education, but a leader in equal education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Denmark. Next up on the list, we'll have the delegations of Egypt. Floor is yours, delegate.
Good afternoon, honorable chairs and fellow delegates. Over the past few decades, many developments have taken place regarding the special education in Egypt. The new legislation ensures the right of PWDS, and the Egyptian government does its best to support all forms of care, including education, physical rehabilitation, and personal social care. The increasing number of PWDS have not been matched by an appropriate increase in the numbers of school, classroom, and teachers. Thus, all the schools need to include special education programs that should be built to include modern equipment and support services. Many schools include students with different disabilities, and each disability has different requirements for the inclusion process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Egypt. With that being said, we'll have the delegations of France.
Good afternoon, honorable chairs and esteemed delegates. France is firmly committed to advancing inclusive education, ensuring that all learners, including those with disabilities, have equal access to quality education. We define inclusive education as a system where students with abilities can learn equally in the same schools. We focus on SDG 4, Target 4.5, which aims to eliminate discrimination in education. However, we recognize that challenges remain, such as lack of teacher training to address diverse needs in dealings with students' diversity, social stigma, a lack of adapted teaching materials and facilities, and discriminations. According to UNESCO's 2020 report, children with disabilities are 49% more likely to have never attend school. This addressed France to implement various programs to help students with disabilities, which is financial assistance, such as disability child education allowance, disability compensation benefits, disability card, and the provision of special transportations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of France. Next up, we'll have the delegations of Germany. Floor is yours, delegate.
Honorable Chair, esteemed delegates. Today, I want to talk about inclusive education. It's not a privilege, it's a right. Yet, students with disabilities continue to face barriers in accessing quality learning environment. My delegation believes every child deserves the opportunity to learn. Regardless of ability, this requires teacher training, adapted material, and anti-stigma. Campaign to create a truly inclusive culture. We urge all member states to strengthen national policy to ensure no student is left behind. Inclusion must be foundation of all education system, not an afterthought. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Delegations of Germany, 20 seconds left on the clock. All right, that automatically leads back to the chair. We'll have the delegations of India. Floor is yours.
Good afternoon. In India, a significant portion of disabled learners are excluded from mainstream education. India believes that inclusive education is defined as focusing on providing quality education to all children, including those with special needs. India is actively working towards inclusive education, ensuring all children, regardless of their condition, have access to quality education. With several policies such as the Right to Education Act or the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan scheme promoting inclusive education, with the latter directly benefiting over 156 million students and 5.7 million teachers. India strongly supports inclusive education, emphasizing the right to education for all children, including those with disabilities, as reflected in its many policies that it has passed. We hope that through this conference, we can ensure that all students, no matter their condition, can learn in the same place as their peers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of India. Next up, the chairs would like to call upon the delegations of Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, Nigeria, and Norway to the front to queue up. So we still have quite a lot of delegates to come through, so please do prepare. For Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, Nigeria, and Norway please queue up to the front. Japan, you have the podium.
Good afternoon, honorable chairs, distinguished delegates. In Japan, inclusive education for persons with disabilities means more than simply placing students in the same classroom. It is about fostering respect for diversity, adapting learning environments, and ensuring every student can reach their potential. Yet, challenges remain, from insufficient teacher training and limited resources to physical barriers and persistent social stigma. To move forward, Japan proposed, first, enhancing teacher training through universal design for learning. Second, improving infrastructure and transportation accessibility. Inclusive education, it's not just about an educational policy, it is a societal commitment. Japan stands ready to work with all nations to create learning environments where every child, regardless of ability, can thrive and contribute fully to society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Japan. Next up, we'll have the delegations of Malaysia.
Good morning to the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. Malaysia is committed to ensuring no child is left out of education just because of disability. Guided by CRC, CRPD, and the Salamanca Statement, we have strengthened our policies, increasing the quality for education by improved teacher training, and took in the zero reject policy. But many children, especially in rural areas, remain out of school, so we propose that, one, we have to strengthen our inclusive policies and facilities, two, awareness campaigns to end stigma, and three, flexible curricula for diverse needs. So, inclusivity isn't a privilege. It's a promise we must keep. Together, we can make it reality. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Malaysia. Just a bit of a reminder for the fellow delegates that one bang means 15 seconds left. Two bangs means 5 seconds left. Repeated bangs means that the time is up. Okay? One bang, two bang, and endless bangs means the time is up. So, next up on the list, we'll have delegations of Mexico. The time will start when you speak.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates. Mexico has been working to prioritize and integrate students with special needs into mainstream schools while implementing policies and programs to support the school. We align with the Salamanca Statement, which states that regular school should be the primary setting to educate all students and a call to action for adapting teaching methods, curriculums, and environments to suit different learning needs. Although we recognize that there are some challenges in bringing this goal to fruition, such as a lack of teacher training, insufficient funding, and negative stereotypes towards our disabled youth. To solve these problems, Mexico has rolled out a National Inclusive Education Strategy, or shortened as INI, a set of guidelines which ensures equal responsibility throughout the government. And efforts of technical training and networks across multiple school authorities in the country guarantees that quality education can spread equally throughout every area. Mexico is currently striving to improve education for all of our youth, and we are looking forward to working with other delegates so we can continue improving our systems for the benefit of all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Mexico. Next up on the list, we'll have delegations of Nigeria. Next up, go ahead, delegate.
Good afternoon to the Honorable Chair and dear delegates. Nigeria believes that every child has a right to learn, even if they have a disability. Today, millions of children have been left out because of them being disabled. It's not their fault that they are this way, and treating them as someone less than human being is wrong. 68% of families in Nigeria hide their children with disabilities because they fear social rejection. 65% of African students with disabilities cannot afford assistive device, and in Nigeria, 7 out of every 100 complete middle school. With that being said, Nigeria would like to ask UNESCO to help us improve with funding in inclusive education, teacher training, and community awareness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Nigeria. Last but not least, we'll have Norway.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates. The Kingdom of Norway believes inclusive education is a moral imperative. If every child, regardless of ability, must have the right to learn in an environment that upholds dignity and equality. Our policy rests on 3 pillars: accessible infrastructure, teachers training for diverse needs, and active community involvement. Norway invites all nations to share best practices and work together towards education systems that leaves no one behind. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, fellow delegate. So, the Board of Directors calls upon the delegations of the Philippines, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, and Sweden to come queue up to the front. So, the delegations of the Philippines, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, and also Sweden, please queue up to the front. A duly reminder for the fellow delegates to use third-person pronouns, all right? You cannot say I, because you're representing a country, so do not say I. Say we, or the delegations of your country. Okay? So, the Philippines, kumusta ka? You may start.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The Philippines believe that no child should be left outside the classroom because of a disability. Inclusive education means more than access. It means belonging, support, and equal chances to succeed. We have taken steps such as passing Republic Act 11650 to establish inclusive learning centers nationwide and training teachers to adapt lessons for everyone. Yet, millions of Filipino children with disabilities still face closed doors, poor facilities, and a lack of trained educators. How many future are we losing when a child is turned away simply because the school cannot meet their needs? The Philippines calls for stronger cooperation, shared resources, and real commitment from all nations to ensure every child has a seat in the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of the Philippines. Next up, Saudi Arabia.
Good afternoon, honorable chairs and distinguished delegates. Today I bring attention to a group often overlooked, neurodiverse students in Saudi Arabia, those with autism, ADHD, and learning differences like dyslexia. Though intellectually capable, these students are frequently misunderstood, unsupported, or placed in separate programs. They are not broken, they simply learn differently. To fulfill Vision's 2030's promise of inclusive education, we must train teachers to recognize learning differences, adapt classrooms to diverse needs, and reduce stigma through awareness. Delegates, inclusion means more than access. It means understanding. Let us commit to building a system that supports all minds and embraces every kind of learner. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Saudi Arabia. Next up on the list, we have South Africa. The time is yours.
Good afternoon, honorable chair and dear delegates. Education is a serious matter for everyone, and so disabled students and learners are the main concern for building a comfortable environment for both them and the school. That's why the Department of Basic Education in South Africa plays a crucial role in promoting inclusive education by providing a positive framework for pointing out obstacles to learning and participation in the education system. White Paper 6 emphasizes the importance of helping various helping needs and creating an inclusive environment for all learners. This includes learners with disabilities, special education needs, and other challenges. We hope that this framework for developing South Africa's education system to be more inclusive can be understood by, and that our progress on and effort can be heard by all. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of South Africa. Next up on the list, we'll have South Korea. Now, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. We are the delegates of South Korea. South Korea have been really supporting and committed to this program, trying to ensure 98,000 children with disabilities get the same treatment as the non-disabled, so they can get the same chance in the work environment. But there have been some problems, especially with teaching resources as teachers, school or transportation, and curriculum for students with disabilities. The South Korea government also already spent more than $4 billion USD for inclusive study for children with disabilities. South Korea Korea has laws and policies promoting inclusive education for children with disabilities, aiming to ensure equal education opportunities. The Act on Special Education for Persons with Disabilities on 2008, along with the Special Education Act on 1974. The South Korean government and citizens encourage other countries to look further for inclusive education for children with disabilities, and was hoping for a better education system and curriculum so they can keep learning and understanding the curriculum like non-disabled children. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The delegations of South Korea. Then we'll have Sweden.
To the Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates, disabilities only become a tragedy when society fails to provide the things we need to live our lives. Those our powerful line was shared by Judy Heumann in 1987 during an interview with NEPR. One might wonder why Judy Heumann is very dedicated to fight for the rights of people with disabilities. What underlies the strong commitment of many countries to this issue? Sweden believes that people with disabilities possess a unique talent and potential that contribute not only to a more inclusive society, but to a stronger and more innovative nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sweden. So next up, we're going to be calling the last 5 pairs of delegates. We'll call upon the delegations of Thailand, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, and last but not least, the United States of America. So for the delegations of Thailand, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, and the United States, to please come forward and queue up. Thailand, you're the first one on the list.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. Herbert Spencer once said, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Delegates, today we face a reality where 240 million children with disabilities are still being left behind. Barriers, whether in classroom, infrastructure, or mindsets, keep them from their right to learn. The delegation of Thailand believes that education is not truly inclusive until every learner, regardless of ability, to feel respected, supported, and empowered. That is why we propose RISE, Rights, Inclusion, Support, and Empowerment, our universal framework to make inclusive education a reality, not just a promise. We are here not only to speak, but to act. Because an inclusive future for education is an inclusive future for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Thailand. Next up, Ukraine.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates. Fellow delegates, as we all know, education should be for everyone, but many children with disabilities in Ukraine cannot join school fully. Some schools have stairs with no ramps, some do not have sign language interpreters, many teachers do not know how to support different learning needs. This delegation believes that school should welcome every student from the start. This means making buildings easier to enter, giving teachers training, and using tools that fit every child's needs, like braille books or hearing aids. Education is not complete if it leaves even one child behind. When we make schools inclusive, we build a better future for every learner and for the whole country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of Ukraine. So for our last third speaker, we have the United Arab Emirates. For the United Arab Emirates, the time is yours.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates. UAE is ensuring that all children, despite their difference, can get an equal education. Because in here, inclusive education is defined as a system that ensures all students, including those with special needs and disabilities, have access to quality education within a common learning environment. Inclusive education in the UAE is crucial for fostering a society where everyone has equal opportunities and feels valued. It ensures that all students, including those with disabilities, can learn and participate together in the same level of education. The UAE Constitution and Federal Law Number 29 in 2006 emphasize the right to education for all and prohibit discrimination, including education. The UAE has managed to stabilize the inclusive education thanks to UNESCO help, such as the Salamanca Statement in 1994, emphasized that all children, regardless of their individual differences or challenges, should learn together in mainstream school whenever possible. Therefore, we make an open space for any delegates that want to work with us without this problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of the United Arab Emirates. Next up on the list, we'll have the United Kingdom.
Good afternoon, honorable chairs and distinguished delegates. According to the 2021 UNICEF report about children with disabilities, nearly 240 million children around the age of 0 to 17 years in the world have some form of disability. The report said that the region with the highest number of children with disabilities is West and Central Africa, then in Middle East and North Africa, South Asia, Eastern and Southern Africa, then Latin America and the Caribbean. The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, or known as CRPD, obligates governments to take concrete measures to grant children and adults with disabilities their full access to all human rights. Most importantly, their right to get inclusive education. Despite international commitments, children with disabilities face persistent barriers to education stemming from discrimination, stigma, and the failure of governments, especially the developing countries, to provide inclusive schools. As a result, they are among the most likely to be out of school. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the United Kingdom. Last but not least, for the general speakers list, we'll call upon the delegations of the United States of America.
Good afternoon, dear Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. The United States of America strongly believes that education is not a mere privilege, but a fundamental right to all children regardless of their circumstances. The United States of America has faced various educational crises, notably between the 1970s through 1990s. During the period, a vital movement came with the 1983 Nation at Risk report, which at the time schools within the US were failing to prepare students for a competitive global economy. Over the years, aligning with UNESCO's Sustainable Development Goals, we aim to improve quality of education through domestic programs such as the Preschool Development Grant Birth Through 5, a $315 million federal grant program by the U.S. Department of Education to promote states' early childhood education systems. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of the United States. With that, we have exhausted the speakers list of the GSL. Now, a duly reminder for the fellow delegates that it is allowed to use your devices. So in the case in which you want to use your devices, it is perfectly allowed. Okay? Research, doing your, having your speeches here stored in notes, that will be perfectly fine. If you want to use this, go ahead. Okay? So, we have concluded the general speakers list. With that being said, are there any points of motions in the room? Placards up. Any points of motions in the room? Placards up. Are there any points of motions in the room? Is that Sweden? Yes. Delegations of Sweden, what is your motion?
The delegate of Sweden would like to raise a motion of moderated caucus of history of the issue.
History of the issue.
Yes.
With the time?
25 to 1.
Sweden with a total durations of 20 minutes and 1 minute speaking time. Thank you very much to the delegations of Sweden. That is allowed. Any other points of motions in the room?
The delegation of Thailand would like to raise a motion. The topic of a history of the issue with the time of 20 to 2. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. However, the history of the issue is already proposed by the delegations of Sweden, as seen here down below. Do you want to rephrase your motion? Perfect.
The delegates of Thailand would like to propose a motion of country stances with the time of 20 to 1. Thank you.
Country stances 20 to 1, that will be in order. Thank you very much. Now, we'll only entertain 3 motions, only 3 motions. So this is going to be the last motion that we will recognize for this particular moment. Are there any other points of motions in the room? placards, put it down, placards down, placards down. Are there any points of motions in the room? When I say placards up, you put your placards up, okay? So are there any points of motions in the room? Placards, put it down. Placards up. You pick. We'll have Japan.
Delegate of Japan proposed a motion for moderated caucus for 20 minutes and 1 minute individual speaking time to discuss about the role of technology in education for students with disabilities.
Apologies, can you repeat that?
The role of technology in education for students with disabilities.
So it is the role of technology of education for students with disabilities. Is this correct? 20
Correct.
to 1. That will be in order. Thank you very much. So if you guys would see here at the front, we have 3 motions, right? We have 3 motions, one from Sweden, second is from Thailand, and the third one is from Japan. So we will vote from the most disruptive to the least disruptive, and you will need 13 votes for this. So each and every one of you will need to vote. All right? Regardless whether or not you are present or present and voting, you will need to vote either yes or no. Okay? So we will vote for the first one, which is the delegations of Sweden moderated caucus with the topic of history of the issue. So you're going to be talking about the history of the topic. For those who are in favor of speaking in this motion, please raise your placards now if you are in favor. If you are in favor, we need 13 votes. In favor, up and high so we can see your placards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going once, going twice, going thrice, placards down. Now, for those against, placards up. If you are against this motion, placards up. If you do not want to talk about this topic, placards up, placards up. If you do not want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. All right, put your placard down. This motion does not pass. So, this is how it works, right? We vote. If it doesn't pass, then we're going to move into the next one. The second motion is proposed by the delegations of Thailand, talking about country stances. For those who are in favor, or you want to talk about this topic, raise your placards now. We need 13 votes for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. We need 13 votes. Placards down. This motion passes. We'll go to Thailand's motion to talk about country stances. Now, the delegations of Thailand, can I see delegations of Thailand? Where are you? Okay, delegations of Thailand, would you like to go first or last in the speakers list? First. Thank you very much. Very generous. So, we have delegations of Thailand as the first speaker. Therefore, we have 19 slots left. So we can have 19 speakers for this moderated caucus. Now, for those who wishes to be added to the speakers list, placards up. I'll start with here. Can you please have your, okay. All right, so Argentina, you are the second speaker. United States of America, third. If you have been recognized, you can lower your placards. Third speaker. We'll have Australia, fourth. Brazil, fifth. Malaysia, sixth. Thank you. Egypt, seventh. Mexico, eighth. I cannot see. Sweden, 9th, Japan, 10th, Canada, 11th. Japan, you have been recognized. Any other speakers who wishes to be added to the speakers list, please raise your placard. For those who wishes to be added to the speakers list, raise your placards. Thank you. Yeah, United Kingdom. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. What was that? United Kingdom, 11th. 11th. We'll have Ukraine, 12. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. So we have 12 speakers as of now. Afterwards, we're going to be calling 8 speakers more. Okay? So for the delegations of Thailand, Argentina, United States, Australia, and Brazil, please move forward and queue up. And a very kind reminder to all the fellow delegates to use your time efficiently. If you have 1 minute, please use the entire 1 minute. To the delegations of Thailand, you may have the floor.
In order to remove challenges in education and guarantee equal opportunities for children with disabilities, the Kingdom of Thailand will increase collaboration with partners and international organizations. Through our collaborations, as a founding member of ASEAN and a member of UNESCO, we will keep developing flexible learning pathways and teacher preparation to support inclusive classrooms. In addition, to being a right, inclusive education is essential to creating a society of equity, in which all children have equal access to education regardless of their location, gender, ethnicity, and disability. Thailand is committed to providing free, quality education to all children, including those with disabilities from birth throughout life. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Thailand. Next up, we'll have Argentina.
The Argentine Republic firmly believes in equal education. That is why individuals with disabilities are entitled to comprehensive healthcare coverage and educational services under 2 key pieces of national legislation. The first is Law 22,431 from 1981, which created a comprehensive protection framework for people with disabilities. The second law is Law 24,901, which established fundamental habilitation and rehabilitation services for people with disabilities. In 1997, Law 24,901 was enacted, establishing the foundation for a comprehensive welfare and care framework for people with disabilities. 4 years later, Law 25,504 was passed in 2001, granting the Ministry of Health authority to issue disability certificates. With the second being Article 42 of the National Education Act, special education is the aspect of the education system designed to ensure the right to education of people with temporary or permanent disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Argentina. Next up on the list, we'll have the United States of America. To the delegations of the United States, 1 minute is yours, delegate.
As an active member of UNESCO, we are committed to support and shape various education programs within the US and around the world. Our contribution is evident enough through programs such as Individual Disability Education Act, or IDEA, a law that ensures services to children with disabilities throughout the United States. IDEA governs how states and public agencies provide early intervention, special education, and related services to around 8 million Americans, a rise from its previous decline between 2019 through 2021 from 7.3 to 7.2 million American students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegations of the United States. Next up on the list, Australia.
In Australia, they support education to be equal for everyone. Because of that, Australia have done various strategies to face these challenges, including providing professional development for teachers and public awareness. The main reason exclusion in education often happens because of a mix of different reasons, such as systemic issues, individual attitudes, and resourcing challenges. Australia acknowledges that education is considered important and highly valued. The Ministry of Education is committed to fostering inclusive education for students with disabilities, ensuring they have the same educational opportunities as their peers. The governments have helped too by national policies and standards, NCCD and ACT, giving support for students and teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Brazil. Australia. Next up, delegations of Brazil.
Brazil takes an inclusive stance on education, aiming to integrate as well as establish special education provided primarily in the regular education network to students with disabilities, ensuring that inclusive education system at all level stages and modalities of education. Public policies and local education programs also follow this logic, resulting in a concentration of attribution and power at the federal level, which is generally responsible for the financing and evaluation of the educational system. They have undergone changes that have led to guarantee of rights for marginalized people at school and in society. In addition, they outline the valuation of difference, the promoting of dignity, and the right of equality education for all citizens, with the state being the main responsible for providing conditions for their realization. The Constitution specifies that education will be provided based on equal conditions for access and permanence in school. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Brazil. Next up, we call upon the delegations of Malaysia, Egypt, Mexico, Sweden, and Japan to come queue up to the front. One more thing as well, fellow delegates. In a case in which you want to use the entire, if you want to stick to the podium, that will be perfectly fine. However, if you want to go out of the podium, that will be perfectly fine as well. This whole area is your stage, all right? If you want to use the whole of the stage, that will be your rights, okay? Please wait for it. Wait for a bit. Delegations of Malaysia, correct? The time is yours.
The Federation of Malaysia recognizes inclusivity in education for students with disabilities. Malaysia values that every child has the right to quality education and learning. Malaysia has also shown commitment to inclusive education, especially through the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025, aiming 75% enrollment of students with special needs in inclusive programs by 2025. Malaysia has been implementing practices of a great inclusive education system for special educational needs students in Malaysia. From 2014 to 2015, the plan aimed to increase SEN students' study enrollment by 30% and place them based on competency. Then, from 2016 to 2020, it focused on strengthening teachers' training and government NGO collaborations. And in 2021 to 2025, it evaluates previous things to ensure all SEN students receive high-quality education suited to their needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Malaysia. Next up on the list, we'll have the delegations of Egypt.
In the era of Khalifa Ismail, Egypt began its journey in special education, opening schools for the blind and deaf. From 1874 onward, by then, a school for the blind opened in Alexandria. In 1927, blind students were integrated into public schools. Progress continued. Then, the first institute for children with intellectual disabilities was established. And in 1957, teachers were sent abroad for training. By 1964, the General Directorate for Special Education was formed, centralizing support for persons with disabilities. Today, Egypt educates nearly 19.4 million students. Yet, in 2016, only 38 students with disabilities were enrolled, less than 0.2%, with 15% of the world population living with a disability. Now we must build a future where every child belongs. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Egypt. Next on the list, we'll have Mexico. The floor is yours.
Mexico has shown support for the topic of inclusive education for disabled students, such as ratifying the UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, or shortened as CRPD, in 2007, which aims to provide opportunities for people with disabilities to fully participate in all aspects of life. Then, Mexico also collaborated with other countries to solve the matter, such as Project Pixan, which focuses on increasing access to quality education for students with disabilities in public schools, involves collaborative efforts with experts from Mexico and other countries in areas like teacher training and monitoring. And on September 2019, the General Law of Education is issued, stating that the state should provide equal learning opportunities for all people, as well as for access, transition, completion, and academic advancement. Article 7 states that education, in addition to being compulsory, should be inclusive, eliminating all forms of discrimination and exclusion, as well as other structural conditions that can become barriers to learning and participation. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Mexico. Before we proceed to the delegations of Sweden, you may return, Mexico. Boleh balik. Yeah, thank you. So before we proceed to the delegations of Sweden, a kindly reminder for all fellow delegates, all right? Please do try to participate, okay? So, when you have a partner, all right, do switch around a bit, all right? One moderated caucus is going to be you speaking, then the next moderated caucus is going to be your partner speaking, okay? It is perfectly fine for you to read, perfectly fine, okay? Please participate. Now, before we move forward, any questions? Any questions? Going once? Germany. That won't be possible in a moderated caucus. Yeah. In the case of question and answers, it will be later on during the presentations of the draft resolutions. But as for now, in moderated caucus, no questions. Egypt. That will be plausible. You may do it.
Is there a note passer?
Note passers? If you guys see to the back, there's the note passers, all right, Mr. Krishna. So in the case in which you have a note, let's say you have a note, right? You want to speak, our delegations of Argentina wants to speak to the delegations of Mexico, right? It's across the room. So instead of sending messages, what you can do is take a piece of paper, write it, your message, and then also write from whom to whom. And then you just raise your hands like this, okay? With the paper. All right? With the paper. And then Mr. Krishna or the note passers is going to come around, collect your notes, and then deliver it to the delegations of your destination. Okay? So, thank you so much, delegations of Egypt, for raising that question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Before we proceed, any other questions?
How many moderated caucus minimal is needed for unmod?
That will be 2. 2 moderated caucus.
Okay, thank you.
Before we proceed to the unmoderated caucus. Any other questions before we proceed? Going once, going twice, going thrice. All right, seeing none, then we will call upon the delegations of Sweden to the podium. 60 seconds are yours.
Sweden's national philosophy is rooted in the principle of equality. This vision is firmly aligned with the United Nations Convention on the Right of Persons with Disabilities, which Sweden has ratified. The country's approach is not merely about assisting, but also about creating a society where everyone, regardless of their physical or mental abilities, can participate on equal terms. To translate this vision into the reality, Sweden has embedded strict accessibility regulation into its registration, particularly on the planning and building art. This law ensures that public spaces, building, and infrastructures are designed to be adapted to be accessible for everyone with disabilities. The goal is clear: to remove barriers so that as many people as possible can live, work, and move about independently without facing unnecessary obstacles. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sweden. Now, for Japan, time is yours.
Japan recognized that accessibility for persons with disabilities is shaped by deep cultural and historical context. Our nation has transitioned from segregated special schooling to a stronger focus on inclusive education, especially following the 2000 amendment to the school education law. This shift was reinforced by our ratification of the UN Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities in 2014, which committed us to improving integration in schools and society. While our interpretation of inclusive education may differ from global norms, we are committed to ensuring that every individual, whether using a wheelchair, crutches, or other supports, can fully participate in daily life. We acknowledge remaining attitudinal and cultural barriers, and we see value in learning from both Southeast and Northeast Asian experiences to create a truly barrier-free environment across Asia. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Japan. Now, before we call upon Canada, United Kingdom, and Ukraine, we have 8 spots left for this moderated caucus. So, for those who wishes to be added to the speakers list, raise your placards now. It's okay to participate twice. However, we will prioritize those who haven't participated at all. So placards up if you wish to be added. 8 speakers. Up and high, up and high, up and high. China? Is that China? Okay. So we'll have People's Republic of China. You have been recognized. Denmark, you have been recognized for our 2nd. We have India, 3rd. Saudi Arabia, 4th. The Philippines, 5th. We need 3 more speakers. We have Sweden, 2 more. France, and last but not least, we'll have last but not least, South Korea. All right, without further ado, we will call upon the delegations. We'll call upon the delegations of the United Canada, United Kingdom, Ukraine, People's Republic of China, and also Denmark. Canada, United Kingdom, Ukraine, China, and also Denmark. Please queue up to the front. So, for delegations of Canada, time is yours.
Canada supports inclusive education, especially for students with disabilities. The government has taken many steps to support people with disabilities in 4 main areas. First, for money and support, they made a new Canada Disability Benefit, gave more money to students with disabilities and helped pay for tests that finding, learning, or other challenges. Second, for jobs, they made plans to help people with disabilities find work, gave money for special jobs project, and lifted over 4,000 people with disabilities in government jobs. Third, for places and communities, they made reading easier for everyone, built and fixed homes for people with disabilities, and made parks, travel, and schools easier to use. Lastly, for a better future, they made a program to guide people to the right benefits, made a plan for helping people with disabilities, and worked on making government services easier to use. All of this is to make sure people with disabilities can live, work, and play just like everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the delegations of Canada. Next up on the list, United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom supports inclusive education as the most effective way for all children to go to school, learn, and develop the skills they need. In the United Kingdom, children with disabilities are given education and various support systems that are in place to ensure they receive appropriate provisions. The Equality Act 2010 prohibits disability discrimination in education, ensuring that reasonable adjustments are made to prevent students with disabilities from being disadvantaged compared to their peers. The United Kingdom has also helped by 1. Financial support. 2. Special Education Needs and Disabilities, or SEND Sport. And third, Higher Education. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of the United Kingdom. Next up on the list, Ukraine.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, fellow delegates, as we all know, education is the foundation of a nation's future. Even in times of war, since 2014, Ukraine has made it clear for the inclusive education is a national priority, passing reforms, establishing 580 inclusive resource centers, and increasing inclusive schools from 1,500 to nearly 4,000 by 2018. Public funds have provided teaching assistance and accessibility upgrades even in Soviet-era schools. Today, the war with Russia has displaced thousands of students and teachers, cut funding, and forced classes into bomb shelters. Yet, Ukraine has continued to advance inclusion through communities initiatives and goals such as Zekis, which train educators and advise on accessible reconstruction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ukraine. Next up, delegations of the People's Republic of China.
Inclusive education is relative to China, concerning the key aspects of it related to the national policy aimed at achieving equal quality in education. Nevertheless, due to the lack of priority in inclusive education, disabled children may not acquire education. Many schools have already contracted this by inclusive classes within regular schools. Program, China has taken the initiative to provide accessibility for disabled children by starting infrastructure upgrades targeting the older demographic and those with disabilities. For instance, Shanghai has ramped up its efforts to build a barrier environment and as part of a countrywide initiative. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to the delegations of the People's Republic of China. Next up on the list, we'll have Denmark.
Denmark is firmly committed to education equality, ensuring that people with disabilities have the same opportunities to learn and thrive as everyone else. Inclusive education, technologies, specialized staff, and flexible learning environments. The government works to remove physical, social, and academic barriers, aiming to integrate students with disabilities into mainstream classrooms whenever possible. Denmark sees equal access to education, not just a legal obligation, but as a foundation for an inclusive and fair society where everyone has the chance to reach their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of Denmark. Now, we call upon the delegations of India, Saudi Arabia, the Philippines, Sweden, France, and also South Korea. We're calling 6 delegates to the front. This is also a timely reminder for all the fellow delegates to please participate, okay, in the speeches as well. We have partners, so perhaps for the partners to also participate during the speeches as well. So to the delegations of India, ready? You may start.
Hello, fellow delegates. India strongly supports inclusive education. India emphasizes the right to education for all children through mainstream schools. This is reflected in constitutional provisions, legislative acts, and national programs designed to ensure access to quality education for all learners, such as Articles 41 and 45 of the Indian Constitutions, along with the 86th Amendment, which guarantees free and compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14, including those with disabilities. To summarize, India is actively working towards inclusive education, ensuring all children, including those with disabilities, have access to quality education. Thank you.
Thank you very much. India, Saudi Arabia, next.
The Kingdom Kingdom of Saudi Arabia affirms its commitment to educational equality for all, including students with disabilities. Guided by Vision 2030 and our newly enacted law on the rights of persons with disabilities, we have expanded inclusive classrooms and reformed university admissions to remove systematic barriers. However, we recognize that infrastructure and training gaps remain, and we invite international collaboration to develop innovative solutions. Saudi Arabia stands ready to work with the global community to ensure every learner's right to quality education is respected and fulfilled. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saudi Arabia. Next up, the Philippines.
The Philippines recognizes the fundamental right of every individual to quality education. As a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, or you could say UNCRPD, the country has committed to fostering an inclusive educational environment that accommodates learners with disabilities. This commitment is reflected in the enactment of Republic Act numbers 11650, known as the Instituting a Policy of Inclusion and Services for Learners with Disabilities in Support of Inclusive Education Act, signed into law on March 11, 2022. This legislation mandates the establishment of inclusive learning resource in all school division and selected school districts, ensuring that LWDs or learner with disabilities have access to appropriate educational services and support system. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the delegations of the Philippines. For the last three speakers that we have, we got Sweden, France, and South Korea. So Sweden.
Sweden demonstrates its commitment to turning out the ideals of equality and inclusion into tangible action, ensuring that people with disabilities are not merely accommodated but are empowered to live full, independent, and active lives. Distinguished delegates, if such policy were absent, how much more challenging would the lives of persons with disabilities become? As we move forward, Sweden called upon the international community to work together in a building where no one is left behind. Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates, without such policy, can we imagine the added struggles and obstacles that persons with disabilities would face? Thank you.
Thank you so much to the delegations of Sweden. For the second last speaker, France.
France supports inclusive education for students with disabilities. In France, there is a special scheme known as the Paris Santé Result, learning difficulty prevention program, whereby a local unit of expert professionals identifies pupils with learning difficulties in reading and arithmetic in grades 1 and 2 to ensure they receive targeted support. This scheme helps teachers assess pupils and work with other stakeholders to make sure disability pupils get the attention they need. The innovative ensures that action is taken quickly without having to wait for a disability to identified and officially recognized. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, South Korea.
South Korea has been implementing various policies, law, and initiative to promote inclusive education for children with disabilities, including expanding access to free public education, establishing special education support centers, and proposing teacher training programs. The country has also focused on integrating special education into regular curriculum and providing support to students with disabilities to transition to post-secondary life. The support that they have done was 1, to make meaningful society inclusive for education individuals with disabilities, document in law and 5-year development plans. 2, working to create a welcoming environment and build confidence in students with disabilities. 3, an ongoing effort to raise public awareness about disabilities and promoting understanding inclusive education. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, we have exhausted the speakers list for talking about the country stances. Now, we have finished the first moderated caucus. We still do have time for another one. However, we will not be entertaining more than We'll only be entertaining another moderated caucus for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes only for the total durations of the moderated caucus. Okay? So, you want to do this? Okay, so going forward, I'll handling the chairwoman, Rifa, will be moderating the next moderated caucus. To you, Rifa.
All right, thank you, Chair. Now I'll be the one who's moderating. Mind you that we are also open for the motion for unmoderated caucus. So we are looking forward to the motions that you will be proposing. All right, so are there any motions on the floor? Please raise your placards. Delegate of Thailand, what is your motion? Can someone please give Thailand a mic because the chairs cannot hear what they say?
The delegation of Thailand would like to raise a motion about past policies and global frameworks with the time of 10 to 1. Thank you.
All right, please give us some time. Can you please repeat the name of the topic?
We would like to talk about past policies and global frameworks.
All right, thank you. It is in order. With the time of total speaking 10 to 1?
Yes.
All right, it is in order. Thank you, Delegate of Thailand. Any other, Australia, what is your motion?
In inclusive education for 10 minutes and 1 minute individual time.
Root causes of the issue in inclusive education, correct? 10 to 1? 20? 20 wouldn't be possible, seeing the time, so 10 minutes maximum. Would that be okay?
All right, it is in order. Now we are looking for one and only motion, and we highly encourage you to make a motion of unmoderated caucus. So, delegate of, is it Canada?
The front one?
Denmark. Oh, Denmark. What is your motion?
The delegates of Denmark would like to propose unmoderated caucuses for 10 minutes.
For how long, delegate? 10 minutes? All right, it is in order. All right, now we already have 3 motions and we're going to vote for the most disruptive motions, which is a 10-minute unmoderated caucus proposed by the delegate of Denmark. So for those of you who are in favor with this motion, please raise your placard high and firm. We need 13 votes. Going once? Going twice? Going thrice?
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
All right, with 15 votes, this motions clearly pass. Wait a second.
So we're going to be moving to unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes. All right?
Well, for those of you, we would like to remind you that we are going to have a draft resolution making in the last remaining time. So you can prepare to make your draft resolution later on with your blocks within these 10 minutes unmoderated caucus. You are in a moderated caucus in 3, 2, 1. Please keep in mind that you are still in a formal session, so you are still required to speak in English and with third-person pronouns. Thank you.
di
5 minutes remaining. Sorry, 4. 4 minutes remaining.
Extend nggak sih? Kita nggak bakal bisa lulus, jadi kita extend aja. Nggak bisa extend. Yeah, 5 minutes. It's alright. Just under the just questions 5 minutes, but do their working paper. Tell them around. Ya kan kita ada 45 menit lagi, kita sebenarnya bisa ngaret dikit. 45, jadi kayak 50, 55 gitu. It's alright. Let's just have them for another 10 minutes. But we have to go around and tell them untuk bikin working paper in 10 minutes. Extension aja. Bukan extension. It's alright. Again, this is not.
All right, the time is up, and under the chair's discretion, we'll be giving you more 10 minutes. However, you are required to do your working paper, only working paper. So no need to make preambulatory, no need to make the clauses, but you have to write down your solutions to be presented later on as if you are writing a draft resolution. So please work on your working paper in 10 minutes starting from now on. All right, so the requirement for the working paper is that you have to gain 10 signatories minimum, and maximum sponsors amount is 2. Okay, so you can have 2 sponsors and you have to have 8 signatories. Thank you. All right, don't forget to work on your working paper. You still have 7 minutes remaining. For those who are confused to write on their working paper, you have to put the name of the signatories, the name of the sponsors, the convention that guided you, and the solutions that put by your blocks. 3 minutes, delegates. All right, the time is up, delegates. You may come back to your seat. Okay, as we already running basically 2 sessions of unmoderated caucus, we are now going back to open for motions. However, here we are only open for moderated caucus with the maximum time of total time speaking is 10 minutes. And we expect you to send your working paper through the WhatsApp group by the time of 3:45. All right, so please send it so we can recognize it. If you send it late, or if we received it late, your working paper will not be recognized by the chairs. All right, any motions on the floor, please raise your placards. Yes, Delegate of United States, what is your motion? Can anyone give United States a mic? We cannot hear them.
Apologies, United States. Could you repeat your motion?
children with disability with a total time 10 to 1.
Chairwoman Rifa, it's equal access to quality education for children with disabilities with a time of 10 to 1? With 10 to 1. Thank you. Access to it for students with disability. Students with disability. Yeah, for education.
All right, 10 to 1. Is it correct, United States? All right, it is in order. Any other motion on the floor? Delegate of
The delegates of Malaysia would like to raise a motion on a moderated caucus with the topic of ensuring inclusion and equity in education. Ensuring inclusion and equity in education.
All right, it is in order. Thank you, Delegate of Malaysia. One more motion, please. Delegate of Argentina.
Argentina.
The delegate of Argentina would like to propose a moderated caucus discussing about future goals and current educational quotas for 10 minutes with 1 minute speaking time.
And current educational?
Current educational quota and future goals.
Yeah, current educational quotas with future goals. Current education quotas and future goals. Thank you. Is that 10 to 1? 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
Is this correct, Delegate?
Future goals and current educational quotas.
Delegate of Argentina, is this correct?
Argentina? Is this correct? Okay.
All right, it is in order. Thank you. Now we're going to vote upon the motions proposed by the Delegate of United States with the topic of equal access to education for students with disability. For those of you who are in favor with this motion, please raise your placards high and firm. Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. With only 6 votes, this motion clearly fails. All right, voting upon Malaysia's motion, which is ensuring inclusion and equality in education. For those of you who are in favor, please raise your placard high and firm. We need 13. Going once, going twice, thrice. All right, it is not passing. All right, going to the motion proposed by Argentina, future goals and current educational quotas. For those of you who are in favor, please raise your placard. Going once, going twice, going thrice. This motion fails. Since we are not passing any motions, we're going back to the general speakers list. Well, for those of you who are willing to speak in the general speakers list, please raise your placard.
Is that the delegations of Thailand? Delegations of Thailand. Delegations of Thailand, you have been recognized. Then we'll have delegations of Germany. You have been recognized. If you're going to be raising your placards, make sure that you raise up and high so that we can see. We'll have the United States of America. United States of America, you have been recognized. Argentina, you have been recognized. The United Kingdom, you have been recognized. Brazil. China. You have been recognized. Thank you very much. Canada. South Africa. Norway. Malaysia. And that's all. Thank you very much. Put your placard down.
All right. The next speaker will be delegate of Thailand. Thailand, you may have the floor. And delegate of Germany, please stand by near the podium. Thank you.
Honorable chairs and distinguished delegates, the 1994 Salamaka Statement talks about education for all, a promise that all children, including those with disabilities, should be able to go to school. Although SDG 4 of 2030 Agenda underscores inclusive and equal education for all, 68% of countries globally include a definition of inclusive education. However, only 57% of them truly adopt into inclusive learning. It is estimated that 240 million children are living with disabilities, and 50% of these children in low and middle income countries are out of school. UNESCO has developed teacher training, policy guidelines, and advocacy campaigns to help government reform their education system. Thank you.
All right. How would you like to yield your time, delegate of Thailand?
I would like to yield my time to the chair. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next to speak is the delegate of Germany. Germany, you may start. United States, please prepare yourself.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, my delegate believe no inclusive education can succeed without trained teachers. Many educations lack the tools to support students with disabilities. In mainstream classroom, we propose mandatory inclusion-focused training for all teachers. Must feel empowered to reach every learner. Investing in teacher capacity is investing in inclusive features. Let us ensure our educators are ready to teach every child. Thank you. We would like to yield our time to the next.
To the next speaker. All right, delegate of United States, do you receive the remaining time of 24 seconds from the delegate of Germany? Yes? All right, thank you. Before we continue with United States, the chairs would like to remind you to send the working paper by the time this general speakers list comes to end. Everything that being sent after the general speakers list ended would not be recognized by the chairs. Thank you. All right. You have 1 minute and 24 seconds. United States, you may have the floor.
The United States believes that inclusive education is both a universal right and a responsibility that must adapt in each nation's unique culture, social, and economic context. Globally, nearly 240 million children with disability face barriers due to inclusive resources, training, and support for teachers. By aligning effort with the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 4 on equality education. Thank you.
All right. All right. How would you like to yield your time, delegate? You can yield to the chair. You can yield to the next delegate. You can yield to question and answer.
To the chair.
To the chair? All right. Thank you. Next to speak is the delegate of Argentina. Argentina, you may have the floor. Delegate of UK, please prepare yourself near the podium.
Although Argentina has signed, ratified, and granted constitutional hierarchy to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, Article 24, there is still much to be done to realize this right. That is why the Republic of Argentina proposes three potential solutions to realize this right. We are committed to our unrelenting support towards UNESCO's Incheon Declaration. That is why we have 3 programs. The first being Inclusive Education Advancement Program, IEAP, Before we begin taking action, it is essential to begin by fostering a much more deeper national awareness regarding the barriers faced by children with disabilities. The IEAP will act on this by launching a nationwide multisectoral awareness through media outlets, local media, and national headlines. Thank you.
Thank you, Argentina. Next to speak is the delegate of United Kingdom. Brazil, please prepare yourself. You may have the floor, UK.
There are 240 million children living with disabilities worldwide, and many of them have no access to education. Children who use wheelchairs, for example, can't get to school without accessible transport. And for children with physical disabilities, it's almost impossible to spend a whole day without having the tools they need. And also, many disabled children in school get bullied by other children. Usually, if they go to a mainstream school, the school might also not have tools they need, and the teachers could be inexperienced with teaching disabled children and ending up not being able to teach them. And if disabled children want to go to a specialized school, the cost could be unaffordable for those who are in lower classes. Thank you.
Thank you. How would you like to yield your time?
To the chair.
All right. Thank you, UK. Next to speak is the delegate of Brazil. Delegate of China, Canada, and South Africa, please stand by near the podium.
Brazil strongly affirms that informal education is vital to achieve inclusive, equitable, and quality learning opportunities for all. Our PEOPLE People Framework presented at providing continuous support service, expanding teacher training, promoting advocacy campaigns, producing adaptive materials, upgrading infrastructure, and strengthening policy alignment. With the world economies estimated at 50% of employees will require reskilling by 2025, Brazil calls upon all nations to integrate informal education into their national strategies, foster international cooperation, and ensure that lifelong learning becomes a shared global reality. Thank you.
All right, how would you like to yield your time, delegate? You can yield to the chair. You can yield. All right, thank you. Next to speak is the delegate of China. You may have the floor.
The delegate of China would like to thank the chair for their recognition. Dear honorable chairs and fellow delegates, why are our disabled peers still excluded? This is not a question of ability. This is a failure in our systems. We need to implement inclusivity for disabled students into our education systems. Inequality has no place in our schools, especially for students with disabilities. Our goal as a delegate is to put an end to this. Your unified voices can change the world from inequality. The delegate of China stands firm in this idea of inclusive education. China is slowly moving from separating disabled children to putting them in regular schools. They've also trained more teachers to work with special needs students. A disability isn't just being blind or deaf. Making things more accessible helps students in wheelchairs too. This can be achieved by building ramps, elevators, and tactile paths.
Thank you, China. Next to speak is the delegate of Canada. Canada, you may have the floor.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman and my fellow delegates. According to 2020 report by the Canadian Teachers Federation, 61% of teachers felt they needed more training to teach students with diverse needs. This lack of training can lead to inadequate support for students with disabilities. Canada is working to address this by providing teachers with professional development opportunities and resources to better support students with disabilities. By prioritizing inclusive education, we can create a more equitable and supportive learning environment for all students. Fellow nations are encouraged to join us in this effort. Together, we can ensure that every student receives a high-quality education that meets their unique needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Canada. How would you like to yield your time?
I would like to yield my time back to the chair.
All right, thank you. Next to speak is the delegate of South Africa. Delegate of Norway and Malaysia, please stand by near the podium. You may start.
Honorable Chair and dear delegates, the National Council for the Person with Disabilities is a non-profit organization that plays a crucial role in shaping and improving South Africa into a country where people with disabilities have access to opportunities and rights just as equal as non-disabled peers. For 8.5 decades, the NCPD have been running many awareness programs, influencing government policies, promoting physical and social access, and facilitating economic participants with people with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you. How would you like to yield your time? Excuse me? To the chair? Oh, all right. Thank you. Delegate of Norway, are you accepting the 29 seconds given by the South Africa? Norway? No? Okay. Thank you. Norway, please come to the front. And the last speaker will be delegate of Malaysia. Malaysia, please stand by near the podium.
The honorable chairs and respected delegates, education for all is something necessary and technology is something available in the present. The Kingdom of Norway agreed that the role of technology in education for people with disabilities is something important, especially in this era. Today's technology is specifically something that we need, especially for education, because every human being deserves education. Let's use the benefit of technology for providing education for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate of Norway, how would you like to yield your time?
To the chair.
All right, thank you. Okay, the last speaker will be Malaysia. Before Malaysia starts to speak, we would like to remind that this is your last chance to send us your working paper, or no working paper will be recognized by the chair in this simulation. All right? Malaysia, you may start whenever you're ready.
Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates, our government has taken the necessary progressive measures to ensure that children with disabilities have equal access to education and are not discriminated against. Children with disabilities have been shown to be at a substantial disadvantage for even enrolling in school, completing primary or secondary education, or being literate. The government should give an advantage to students with disabilities by implementing equal access to quality education, by strengthening inclusive education policies, sharing awareness, actively identifying and supporting out-of-school children with disabilities, especially in rural areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Malaysia. With that being said, the general speakers list has elapsed, and I believe until this point, no DR has submitted or no working paper has submitted, which would be quite disappointing. But however, due to the time constraint, we'll be ending this simulation, and I'll be giving the floor back to Head Chair. Head Chair, you may have the floor.
All right. All right, so that has been it. So this is the last call. No one's submitting the draft resolutions? No draft resolutions? No draft resolutions? If there's no draft resolutions to be concluded, then there will be no draft resolutions presentations. So we are going to be entering the last motions and one motions only, and that is to, yes, United States, you have a point? Sorry? You're going to submit the draft resolutions, however, it's already out. So we will not be entertaining any more draft resolutions. So without further ado, we're going to have one motion only, and that is to adjourn the meeting. Are there any delegates who wishes to adjourn the meeting? Placards up. Germany. Apologies. we would like to only adjourn the meeting because currently we have a timeout. We ran out of time. There's no DR to be proposed, so we will only adjourn the meeting, which basically means end the session. So adjourn the meeting. Would you like to rephrase? Adjourn. Would like to adjourn the meeting? With adjourn the meeting. That's basically it. We're closing the whole committee sessions. So, thank you so much, delegations of Germany. With that being said, we are going to be adjourning the meeting, which means ending the whole committee sessions. For those who are in favor of this motion to adjourn the meeting, placards up. 13 votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. With 16 votes, this motion passes. We have successfully adjourned the meeting. With that being said, Al-Muhajirien Model United Nations 2025 has concluded. All right, so I think a little bit of feedbacks. I'll just take a bit of your time. So I would like to say congratulations for each and every one of you that has participated in the MMUN 2025. I know things are a bit tight in terms of schedule. However, do have an applause for each and every one of you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for having to participate throughout these committee sessions and gave your best. All right, so guys, pack later. Pack later. All right, we have time to pack. Don't worry about it, okay? So as for the feedbacks, I think you guys have explained your country stances really well. Yes, the negotiation takes time. Yes, we do not have any draft resolutions. However, that is perfectly okay, seeing the circumstances. However, I would like to mention just one thing, and that is basically public speaking, right? When you are, where's my phone? When you're at front doing the podium, right? What's the most important thing when it comes to public speaking? Can anyone answer? What's the most important thing about public speaking? Sorry? Making eye contact? Gestures? Anyone else? Expression. Nice. Anyone else? Listen to you. People would listen to your speech. Anyone else? Sorry? Confidence. And yeah, just say it. Sorry? Intonations. Good. Clearance. Anyone else? Yes, absolutely. Hands down. I think each and every one of you guys, had a fantastic answer. Exactly. Volume, intonations, body languages, and so on and so forth are very important. However, the most important part, I think, when it comes to public speaking is your engagement with the audience. Now, if you've noticed, some of your peers might not pay attention to you, correct? This is because majority of the times you're looking at the phone or you're looking at your iPad. Now, that is a grave mistake to do because what you need is what you mentioned, Mexico, eye contact. We'll need to basically engage by eye contact to our fellow audiences, okay? Whenever you're doing public speaking, you will need to see your audiences. Just like what I'm doing right now, right? Just like what I'm doing right now. So look at your audiences. Intonations, volumes, gestures, those are very important as well. Gestures too. The more animated you are, the more people are going to listen to you, okay? Like you guys are right now, listening to me, right? So that is basically public speaking. And don't rush. I know you guys have a lot of things to say. However, don't rush, okay? Do not rush. You got a lot of things to say. Just make sure that it's fit within the time of 1 minute and say it perhaps not too slow, but comprehensible, right? Slow, comprehensible. So people would know what you are actually saying, all right? So before I pass it over to Chairwoman Rifa for the feedbacks, any questions in regards to public speaking? Anyone? Going once, twice. Placards. Can I have the placards? Brazil? Are there any tips to do the speeches? One huge tip that I can actually give out for you guys is to not really rely on your pre-written speeches. The fact is, not everything that you expected to go will go accordingly to your plan, right? Whatever it is that you had in your paper might be or might not be happening. So therefore, you can't really rely 100% on your pre-written speeches, but your impromptu. So please improvise. All right? Improvise. Try to improvise your speeches left and right, and I believe you'll be much better, right, at performing. Does that answer a question, Brazil? So I think, Rifa?
All right, thank you, Chair. Perhaps the aspect that I want to highlight more is also about public speaking. I have heard that most of you often just drop the information that you want to tell to your audiences right away by forgetting the hook. So your audiences are not being attentive to you yet. So let's see the differences. In Canada, we have already decreased the equality rates by 20%, with 20% decreasing amount of equality rates. Do you believe how our country can do that? Which one is more appealing to you, the first one or the second one? Right? So that's how you get the attention of your audience. Rather than you rightly or like directly deliver your information to your audiences, they will not be so interested to you. But you can just start to hook your speeches first before actually delivering the information you want them to know. All right? And yeah, I would like to also highlight about the eye contact and the gesture as well, because there are a few of you that already use that, and it's a really good progress I could see. However, you can also try to do something. Perhaps I can see that a lot of audiences start their speeches with singing or maybe doing a big gesture like ripping a paper or something, or maybe just walk to the middle in the middle of the room and just say that the information that you want to deliver to your audience. It will catch the attention and also will deliver the message boldly. All right. Perhaps although we haven't passed any working paper, I can see that you guys are trying to negotiate with each other. You are trying to cooperate with each other as well to make your working paper, and I believe that it can be progressed to producing a draft resolution later on in the next simulations or your next conferences. However, I am proud of you all for having this simulation, and I think it will make a good progress for you in your public speaking aspects and your research aspects as well. So congratulations.
All right, so without further ado, our committee, are we going to move into the awarding sessions? All right, so we're going to move into the awarding sessions nice and easy. All right, so we'll start with the best position paper first. All right. Yeah, BPA, BP. All right, so we're going to be moving into the best position paper first. Now, 25 delegates have submitted all of their position papers. Now, structures are very much important when it comes to position papers, as well as content. Remember that, content, substance, right? The ones who are able to write their proposed solutions very well as well, and also write their country stances perfectly. And that delegations will win the best position paper. For the best position paper,
wait for the surprise.
okay, so I think there has been a change. We need to wait for a bit. So we need to wait for a bit for about like 5 minutes. So back to question and answers.
Is there any question and answer?
Is there any questions from you guys throughout the entire thing?
Yes, please.
I'll just walk around.
Okay, you next. Okay.
You say eye contact was really important about public speaking, right? Well, I try to ask, do you have to look for everyone in this room, like on their eyes, or what?
Yes, please.
So when it comes to interactions with audiences, you don't really need to look at everyone. However, you will need to validate each and every one of the persons in the room. However, I'm not looking, whatever works, whatever floats your boat. However, in my case, how I do is basically try to look around the room and not look at any specific people. Because if you look at specific people, you might be affected by their emotions. For example, I'm seeing over there. Hello? Yes. He shows a little bit of interest. However, if I see over there on the back, they're not paying attention. I will not have that affect my emotions. That's just for an example, by the way. Just for an example, okay? So I'm not looking at everybody. However, I'm not trying to scan at anybody, but I'm just like looking around in general. All right? And you have to pace it very well. You can't just like do that. But you have to look around very slowly, right? Just so that people won't see you as if you're panicking.
Perhaps a pro tip, you can just pretend that you are making eye contact with everyone by looking at the back of the room. So let's try it. If I'm speaking from here and I'm speaking to you looking at the back of the room, I do not see anyone's eyes, I do not meet anyone's eyes, and I will not be nervous, but I will look like I'm talking to everyone here, right? Okay, that's a pro tip. Another question, China? You just raised your placard previously.
How to get rid of anxiety when you're in a speech?
How to get rid of anxiety when you're reading a speech? I think everyone would have a bit of anxiety, even me now. I'm currently having, not anxiety in particular, however, pretty nervous coming up here, right? Talking to each and every one of you. However, the thing about it is that you need to very much feel confident in your abilities to do it. All right? For example, if you play games, you're very much confident whether or not you're going to hit those headshots, right? So the same thing goes for public speaking as well. You need to be very confident in your abilities. That's the first thing in public speaking as well. Be confident. Trust in yourself, and tell you what, you'll actually do better. Right? Believe in your ability to public speak. Do not doubt yourself, because doubting yourself is the first step to failure.
Well, honestly, if it takes to the real answer, it does require you a lot of experiences though. So you can start to practice by speaking to yourself in the mirror, because you'll be meeting your own eyes. And you'll also start to experience how your audience will see you as a speaker as well. So yeah, perhaps that can be done for you to practice. All right, all right, Brazil, what is your question?
How do you use body language but not too much?
Chair?
First. All right. So how do you use body languages without overusing it? Now, if I do this with my hand, what does this mean? Strength. What? Strength, power, force. What happens if I do this? Ask, open. What if I do this? Sorry? You're commanding someone, right? Commanding someone, exactly. So you need to understand that each and every one of these body languages means something. So you cannot just wave around your hands and essentially have people understood what you meant. So you really need to emphasize your body gestures, all right? Do not use it frequently, however, do it sparingly and meaningfully, all right? So what I'm doing right now, right? I'm doing it sparingly, I'm not overdoing it, I'm moving here and there. And basically, you need to be very comfortable with your body languages.
All right, thank you. Perhaps for the next questions can be delivered on your next coaching session, because unfortunately we only have limited time and we haven't announced the awarding yet.
So, in the case in which you guys do have questions, please ask them later on in WhatsApp. All right, we'll be happy to give your personal feedbacks as well as your general questions. Without further ado, let's move into the awarding sessions. Now, before we proceed to the best position paper, we would like to call upon Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman to be giving the award later on after the award being announced. So, setelah nama awardinya disebutkan, mohon maju ke depan untuk menyerahkan placard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, now we'll be giving the award to the Best Position Paper Award. And Chair, you may announce it.
So I don't think I need a little bit of introduction to this anymore. Let's just get into it. For the Best Position Paper Award goes to the delegations of... Drum roll? No drum roll? Drum roll? There we go. Delegations of the United States of America.
Delegate of United States, please come to the front. All right. Where is your other delegation? Okay. Sure. Once again, give a round of applause to USA. All right. The next award will be the verbal commendation. So this delegate has already proposed motions and delivering speeches as well, which is pretty substantive. But however, we believe that this delegate might need more progress in their speeches and their motions as well, upon their research as well, to receive a higher award. So hereby, we verbally commending the delegate of Sweden.
For the delegations of Sweden, please, both of you, to come forward and receive the awards. I think you need to as well, Mr. Chairman. Yes. All right, we'll take a picture. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Chair.
Yes. So next up for the honorable mention. Let's not have a bit of an intro, but let's just get into it. So for the honorable mention, we would like to call upon the delegations of Thailand. Everybody smile.
All right, give a round of applause to the delegate of Thailand. All right, for the most outstanding delegate, which is the second highest award in this simulation, we will say that this delegate is pretty deserving this one, because we can hear that they have delivered substantive speeches and we can see their engagement in the discussion and negotiation as well. However, it might need some development to ensure that they can get the highest award later on their next simulation or their next conferences. So the most outstanding award goes to the delegate of Argentina. Give a round of applause to Argentina.
All right, so this has been the path that you guys are waiting for, the Best Delegations Award. I do think everybody knows who's actually the best delegations. So, without further ado, let's call upon the delegations who won the Best Delegations Award, the #1 in Model United Nations Conference. The Best Delegations Award goes to the delegates of, drum roll, stop. Delegations of China.
Congratulations, China. Congratulations, China. Oh, all right. Because previously the delegate of USA haven't been captured a picture for both of the delegation. Perhaps they can come forward to take a picture as well. Bapak dimohon untuk maju ke depan. Terima kasih. All right, thank you. Congratulations to all the awardees. For those of you who haven't got any award, do not worry. This is not your last chance. There are a lot of other simulations and conferences we will be following through. All right, so perhaps I'll be giving back the floor to our head chair because the simulation will be come to an end. And it's been happy for me to see you and to guide you alongside the conference. I'm Riva, and I'll be signing off, giving back the floor to the chair, Arthur. Fatur.
All right, I think an exciting news from our dear president. So, are you guys? How are you guys? Excited? Tired? Tired? Did you find MUN exciting? But tired. But exciting. But exciting. So, a grand announcement that we'll be actually having another MUN here, actually in February of 2026. All right, February of 2026, we're going to be having another Model United Nations conference, another Al-Muhajirien Model United Nations in 2026. All right, so we look forward to your guys' participations in the next year in Al-Muhajirien Model United Nations. Looking forward to that. And I do think, I would like to thank each and every one of you guys, Mr. Chairman, President and principals and vice principals, and also everyone that has been here. Thank you very much for your attention, your participations, and your attendance. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right, perhaps we can have a photo session. Everyone comes up and bring your placards together so we can take a picture.
As for the delegates, we have your certificates. So when we call upon your names, please come forward and collect it. Yeah.
Yayasan Wakaf Al-Muhajirien Jakarta
this is practice. MMU 2025. Something like that. Yeah. Good. All right.
Menjadi pusat dan potensi Muhajirien